Welcome to the Evolution Podcast. Today, I have a special guest, and this guy was pretty much a mentor to me when I first started out in the financial industry space. And listen, phenomenal mindset. And Mike, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself here.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Mike Curry.
So, Mike, tell me a little bit because you, when we first met, we met in, when was it? I think it was 2021. We met in the office,
Yeah.
and your background was very, very, very interesting. If you want to go ahead and just tell the audience, how did you get started initially?
Yeah, so I was doing blue collar work, doing appliance repair. I worked
Uh-huh.
for one of the major companies, and driving around Charlotte, which that's kind of where we met. But driving around Charlotte, fixing people's washers, dryers, and refrigerators, and had an old friend of mine that I was in a energy drink business. Had kind of changed up, went into the insurance industry, and I just reached out and asked him about it. And it was very intriguing. I'm somebody that I got my GED. Like I kind of somewhat dropped out of high school.
Okay.
Didn't go the college route. I went down to a technical college. None of that worked out. So I kind of found and fell into the appliance business. So all I knew was that I had a wife that wanted to one day stay home with the kids.
Mhm.
My $50,000 income that I was very proud of was not going to cut it. So I
Yeah.
saw the insurance industry as kind of that opportunity for me if I could get through that stupid test, which it took me like 3 times.
Well,
Then I knew I could come in because I knew my work ethic
okay.
and I knew the grind. I just believed that if I had the proper training structure and program, I could make it happen. And here we are.
Okay. So now you were going from, I mean, you go from $50,000 a year, which a lot of people would say $50,000 a year is um relatively a lot of money, right? Now, what was your, I guess, what was that mindset shift, and what made you kind of like believe that you needed more? Like, is it just the fact that your wife wanted to stay home, or what was that hunger per se, like the desire for more? Because 50,000 was already enough.
Yeah, so that's always something that I grew up playing sports. And I was in an MLM, like I said, back in when I was 18, 19 years old. And I always put myself around people that um were, aspiring for more.
Yeah.
With that company, they're trying to get to 1,000,000. I don't know. Like I was just always around people and I've always had a desire. I have a very low maintenance, but like I like cars and I like things that cost a lot of money.
Okay.
And I like traveling and I like nice things. And I don't know. I've always just wanted to create that life. And then, something happens when you get married, and then you start having kids, and it's like it again, it's not income is great, but it's like it's the lifestyle, right?
Okay.
Um, and like I said, I was proud of my $50,000 a year because I came from dropping out of high school, didn't have a clue what I wanted to do, and in that job I started at $9 an hour, so I had worked my way up to the point to where I was making that, and
Okay.
um, but for me, having a wife that wanted to stay home with the kids, to me, where we live, you have to pretty much have a six-figure income for that to be a reality and not live a very um, miserable life, in my opinion. So I think it just came from the people that I surrounded myself with growing up, and then you know, just having a wife that you love and appreciate, and you just want to provide for.
Gotcha. So there's also, so what you're saying is basically the sense of responsibility kind of played a factor in there. Now,
Yeah.
so you get into the insurance industry, right? You fail three times, right? Most people after the first or second time usually quit and give up, right? So what was that like? Talk to me as far as like what kept you going to go for the third time? Was it like, hey, you're like, you know what, this, I'm going to be able to make this much money? Or what was that factor that kept you? I mean, first time, second time to go for the third time?
Everybody told me I was going to fail.
Okay.
Um, People, work, um, family, specific people in my family.
Okay.
Um, Everybody kind of put that doubt. I'm very motivated by when somebody tells you you can't do something.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stubborn like that.
Uh-huh.
Um, I go do it and do it
Kept the
better than I
referral.
ever could imagine. Yeah. So people expecting me to fail, I think,
Okay.
was really what drove me. Maybe that's not the right way to be, but when somebody places doubt on you, you kind of go above and beyond, and you actually show yourself that, You can accomplish things that I probably doubted myself, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But their doubt kind of fueled me.
Interesting. Okay. So the need to now, so you transition, right? You get in, you pass your test, right? And you were in the appliance industry for 8 years, right?
Yeah.
8 years. Okay. So, all right. Now I'm gonna, before I transition into, asking the follow-up question here, you were in there for 8 years. Now, most people, they have a vision, they have a need to provide for their family. They want to do better, but because they've been doing something for so long, they feel like they have this, how would I put it? They can't let go. Right. So now, I know you're building a very successful team, and I'm pretty sure you encounter this where you have, agents that come work with you that have been, at your jobs for 8, 9, 10 years, a career. How are you able to get them to, take that leap?
Yeah. So it's very interesting because
Okay.
I have a hard time taking the same approach that I did. Um, just because I've seen people come into this business, some that you think will absolutely crush it and have the worst work ethic and mental fortitude. I think it comes down to mentality.
Okay.
Uh, and when you're meeting somebody the first time, you don't really know like who they are mentally.
Uh,
They look like they have every intangible. They speak well. They carry themselves well. They look super professional, but they're super weak mentally,
God.
right?
Okay.
And it's really hard to kind of decipher day one. So I feel like you have to get to know the individual a little bit through whether they're the licensing process. Typically, I mean, that's who we're talking about when it's somebody like that. Um, you find out, and it's not always the guy that passes the test first, right? Like sometimes it's the guy like me that fails the test.
That's
Like you,
true.
you
Yeah.
kind of figure out the guy that kind of goes through and it's easy for him. Those I don't not everyone, but a lot of times it's kind of people just give up too easy because they're used to having things easy, right? So I'm kind of it kind of depends. If I have a guy that's like super strong mentally,
Yeah.
then tell them what I did, right? In the way that I quit my job. And a lot of the reasons why I quit my job was my scheduling. And then my wife also told me to. But I
Okay.
think it depends on their home life. If that one, they have the blessing from their spouse. Um, and then I'm having a real conversation with this is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to go at this with everything you have for 8 to 12 weeks to kind of get to that place where you can breathe. Right. And if you're not willing to do this, this, and this, dial the phones, buy the leads, have the expenses to buy the leads, skip a week, all the different things that we do in the insurance business. If you're hesitant on that, then you need to do part time until you figure it out. If you're willing to go all in, I'll 100% not hold your hand, but I'll be there every step of the way. So I think it just depends on the individual.
Gotcha. Now for the part time, because I find this is when you're part time, it's like trying to swim, but you have like one leg in the water, and then you have the other
Yeah.
leg pretty much like right there, just outside the pool. You never really get in fully, and because you never really get in fully, you actually never really, how would I put it? You don't give yourself the opportunity to fail,
Right.
right? Which you never give yourself the opportunity to learn, which means those people end up quitting, right? That was the experience I had, right? You do something part time, you're not fully in it. It just is like a hobby.
Dude, I was 0 for 10. I did this like when I say part time, I mean the absolute most part time you could be. Like I ran,
Uh,
maybe in a one appointment one night, and maybe some weeks I didn't run any. Like so, I did this thing for a few weeks. Um, I was 0 for 10, and I decided to go all in with having failed my first 10 appointments, like actual sits, not
Gotcha.
just I had 10 appointments and some were no shows. Like I'm talking my first 10 sit downs with clients, I was not able to sell a policy.
Wow.
And most people would say, yeah, this isn't for me,
Yeah.
but I quit my job and said, it's not for me because I can't do this and have a job.
Interesting.
I need the consistency because what happens is people turn around and they're jumping around. They have one here, they have a few days later, one here. You're
Yeah.
never really in it. I forced myself to go all in, and day 3, I had my first sale, and I ended up writing 26,000 my first month. I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
My first actual full-time month. So it's like, it just goes to show you that if someone comes in with that mindset and they're just trying it. Like, I hate that individual, not person, but like that. I hate that mentality. When
Yeah,
someone
the
comes into
mindset, yeah.
Yes, when someone comes into insurance, I hate hearing, "I'm just gonna try it." Like,
Yeah,
what are you trying? It's a proven, like, insurance sales is proven. There's nothing to try. Either you're gonna make it happen or you're not. Like, and this is how we make it happen. Let's do it.
okay, okay. So, what are the I mean, you've had agents who quit,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I'm assuming the people who come in and they're trying it out, they they're usually the first ones to go, right? Because, something either happens and then, they can't, either you're like, "Oh, man, I spent this much, I didn't make that much money." Now, how do you keep people, let's say I'm gonna use a perspective of you running an agency, right? And you have, 50, 60, 70 agents, and you have that one agent or that two agents who is they're struggling, right? You're not booking enough appointments, you're not getting enough, people on the phone, and they want to quit, right? How do you get them to stay in the game?
Yeah, I think I think that's when it really comes down to, like, some one-on-one coaching. You really need to find out, like, what's your schedule look like?
Hmm.
Are you doing all the things? Like, we have a lot of different things to help new agents,
Okay.
like a live dial, like a Zoom. You get on a Zoom and you dial. You have to see what people are willing to do and put into it. Um, there's a couple things, common things that I see when people are struggling, and it's typically they have an inconsistent lead order, meaning like, if you're in the insurance business and you're buying leads, they don't have a consistent flow of new people to talk to each week. Like,
Okay.
they'll hop around. So they're super scared with their budget, right? So I think that's kind of something that needs to be like outlined, or at least someone has to have an idea, like, this is what it's going to take, and I can't
Okay.
like mess this up. But I think if you take that agent kind of under your wing a little bit and you coach them one on one, usually you can get past that. But then, dude, sometimes it's just people, they just mentally can't get over people telling them, different things on the phone, and they
Gotcha.
think it's a grind. Like, it's usually it's they get their license, they come in and they see
Mhm.
that, like, the grind isn't worth it.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
you can't get somebody past that. They have to want to get past that. Because it's not, for, I mean, yourself, it's yeah, it's a skill, but it's not, we're not talking like LeBron James dunking,
Yeah.
the basketball skill, right? Like, that's a natural, like, not everybody can do that, but anybody
Yes,
can pick
sir.
up the phone and learn how to call somebody who asks for our help.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
Again, it
So
all back to the mental side of things. It's the entire business is mental.
interesting. So that okay. So what's that like? So since this entire business is mental, right? Let's say we have those insurance agents that are watching this right now, and they are in that same boat that we just described, where they're struggling, and they don't have that person take them under your wing, and they don't have that strong mindset. What is that mindset that you have, and what is like three key things? Can you expand a little bit more on the mindset part of things?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're calling, like, I think you have to understand, like, one, what you're actually doing. A lot of times people will, like, they'll start making calls and they don't really understand, like, their job, right? Like, what I'm actually trying to do.
Okay.
And, so I think, like, mentally understanding, like, what's, like, before I make this phone call, like, what's the end goal? Like, what do I want out of this phone call?
Okay.
Right? Because if you understand how to take somebody from point A to point Z, so to
Okay.
speak, then you'll kind of navigate that. And I think, um, you know, learning, there's so much training out there on objection handling. Like, somebody that I follow is Jeremy Miner,
Hmm.
right? So I think somebody can build their belief in themselves, right? So that's one of them, belief that you can actually do. And I think if you follow guys like him and you learn how to say the right words at the right time, he teaches a lot about emotions and how different words trigger different emotions.
Okay.
Um, really, like, deep down, like, just understanding, um, all of this is what it takes to get a client to the end of the phone script, right? And
Okay.
then when you're actually running an appointment and you care about them and you understand, like, mentally that, like, this person needs my help, and you connect with them on that personal level,
Yeah.
then you're not doing anything other than helping somebody, right? But, like, that's a place in your mind, like, so many people are only thinking about themselves, and, like, they're afraid that, I think, or I that you don't think I speak well or whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Okay.
care about that, right? You care about, is Emmanuel being taken care of, right? And how
Gotcha.
can I best help you? So I think they're just focused on themselves internally and they're not focused on the outside.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So now there's different reasons why people get into the financial industry, right? But I don't think 90% of people get in it because they're like, oh, I really love selling insurance, right? 90% of people get in it because they want to make more money,
Right.
right? So now they get in it and they want to make more money. And then, they get, like in the life side of things, this is something I also experienced was chargebacks, right? You get in it to make a lot of money and then you make the money, but then you see the money getting taken away from you, right? Now, that's usually the point where 85 to 90% of people will quit, right? So what, and I know you, by your track record, you write a lot of solid business, books, business that stays on the books, right? What are the key things that you ensure that your policies are actually put in place and actually stay?
Yeah. I mean, one, I think it's you're not something I hear a lot of times is when people actually submit the app,
Uh
they're
huh.
submitting it for approval
Okay.
instead of for the client that like you're not selling it, so to speak. You're submitting it to get approved and hope the clients keep it, right? Like, let's just see if you can get approved. We're gonna
Mhm.
submit it here, see if you can get approved, right? Well, and you're kind of manipulating that sale a little bit. I think that that's the first thing is like you want to make sure that it's secure and you build that value and someone actually wants the policy because I can submit apps all day long,
Uh
but
huh.
I want to submit an app to where it's there so when the client something happens to the clients, it's taken care of, right? Like what's the
Okay.
point of clients? I think that's a lot of, you know, companies like they get in, you get these leaderboards and all these things. And I think that's a lot of why probably people just submit apps all the time because they got a reputation to kind of stick
Yeah.
to. But I think when you're truly wrapping up the sale, I think you need to be careful about just submitting an app when you get good at sales,
Gotcha.
right? Tying it down, making sure that they understand the plan and like this is going to start this date, right? So, and just there's different keywords you can say on the life side. I'm primarily on the health side now, so I don't have to do any of it because people, it's health insurance conversation completely different than life. Like
Okay.
people typically, I don't have to convince somebody they need health insurance, right? It's a
That's
different
true.
thing,
Yeah.
right? So it's just finding a good fit for them. So it's a different world, but that's part of the reason why I'm in health insurance now is because I want agents to have I've just, anyway, but yeah, tying down the sale is huge without submitting apps just to get them over and hope they keep it. I think that's the biggest issue things get
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So the basically just the kind of like, if I'm understanding correctly, is like when you put the application in, it's more or less to protect the client as opposed to, hey, let me get a policy in, to get a notch on the belt, right?
yeah.
Okay. Now in the health side, do you still book the appointments? So how does it work for you right now as far as like, when you're selling health?
Yeah, yeah, it's a very similar thing, but, we do a 2-call system, right? We do a
Okay.
discovery call. So we're basically, running through, finding out, like, we get a lead information, client has a policy, doesn't have a policy, whatever. We'll go through, we got a contact sheet, financial inventory, whatever you wanna call it, financial
Hmm.
suitability sheet, everybody calls it just something different. We go through some health questions, figure out, what they got going on, and, depending on which route they wanna go.
Okay.
So it's super simple, and then from there, it's just trying to make it work. We primarily deal with business owners and self-employed, so there's a bunch of different options typically to those for those individuals, as long as they're healthy. If they're not, then obviously the marketplace. But it just depends.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Okay, so now for the health side, let's say I'm a lead, I'm a business owner, I'm self-employed. Let's say I work in the appliance field, right? And
Okay.
you get my information as a lead. Walk me through the process. You get on the phone with me. What's that process as far as like, if you don't mind role playing here, I'm gonna be the client. If you want to give me a call, I'll answer, and then we can kind of have a chit chat from there.
Yeah, sure. Ring.
Hello?
Hey, Emmanuel.
Yeah, this is Emmanuel.
Hey, man. Hey, this is Mike Curry. I was calling you back. I got that online request that you had sent in for health insurance. That was the one for business owners or self-employed, and I just need to verify some information real quick. Do you have a quick second?
Sure, why not?
Good deal, man. All right. Well, hey, real quick, it looks like your date of birth, 12590.
Yeah, yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Zip code is 29720.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Oh, all right. Now, are you looking for health insurance only, or are you looking for dental, vision, and life insurance as well?
I just need something just in case something happens to me. I can, go to the doctor, low deductible, that kind of stuff.
Got it. Cool, man. All right. Good stuff. Yeah. So we work with a bunch of different companies, but let me go ahead and look here. It looks like you have a current plan. It did, and you're paying about $1,000 a month.
897.
897. Okay. And it is showing that you have a spouse and two dependents. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your wife's first name?
Her first name is Rita.
Reese. Okay. And what's the date of birth?
Uh, Let me see. March 11th, 92.
92. You better remember that, bud.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
I'm just messing. Um, and then your children, what are their date of birth?
what's her name? Liz. Liz is, when was she born? She's 8 now. So 2005. Yeah. 2005, August 14, 2005. And, what is, and Luke is, I think Luke is 3. Luke is 3. So it was, 2010. 2010. I know the dates are completely wrong. 2000, it's completely
Uh,
wrong because I know 2005, 2015, but it's completely wrong. But
you're
yeah.
yeah. I got it. Now, are you and the wife or the children, are you guys taking any prescription medication?
She takes some antidepressants.
Okay. Got it. And what about anything major? You guys ever had a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, or anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
Okay. What about surgeries? Any surgeries in the last 2 to 5 years for any of you?
No, no surgery, nothing.
Is there anything planned that you think you might need?
No, no, not at all.
Nothing coming up. Okay. And then as far as primary care provider, do you guys have a doctor currently that you
Oh
like to
yeah,
use?
Dr. Martin is about 2 blocks down. Yeah.
Okay, got it. What's the facility?
It's 123 General Health.
Got it. Okay. Does the entire family use him?
We Luke just started going there. Yeah, actually, yeah, we do.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. But you like him. You like him, right?
I mean,
You want
hey
the
man,
facility.
he's a local guy. I've known the guy for about 6 years now. So yeah,
Okay.
he
Good.
does stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people I talk to that, one of the main concerns, they just like to be able to keep, using who they got. So we'll definitely take a look at that. So what we'll do here, Manuel, is so I'm gonna do my due diligence here, do some research. So based on what you told me, I could probably get you in the plan that I have, personally for me and my family. But I just want to make sure that's the best fit for you. But that plan's, PPO, so you can use it, keep going to the
Mhm.
same doctor. Rates are fixed, so you wouldn't have to worry about it going up every year. And then there's also no deductible, so you'd have first aid benefits. But let me do my due diligence, shop it around for you, figure out which plan's best for you, and we can either hop on the phone tonight or tomorrow. Which one will work better for you and the wife?
I get back around like 8:30. If you could do about how long is it gonna take?
It'll take about 15-20 minutes. I'm actually gonna shoot you over an email, so I just need to make sure you're by a computer at that time.
About 8:45. 8:45 sounds about right.
8:45, got it. Okay. Yeah, we'll put you down then. Like I said, just, have a pen and paper handy, be by a computer. I'll shoot you over an email of what we found. We'll run through it together, answer any questions, see if we can't help you out. If it's a good fit, great. If not, not a big deal. We'll direct you in the right way. But look forward to helping you, and I'll shoot you an email reminder and a text reminder, and when
Yeah.
we're getting close tonight. Okay?
Okay. And your name is it's Mike, right?
It's Mike. Yep.
All
Mhm.
right, cool. Man. Yeah, man. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you 8:45. Well, man, dude, phenomenal. That's insane, dude. Good role playing. I gotta work on my numbers and
Oh, you're
data.
good, man.
And data.
So,
I was
yeah, the difference on the health side is like we're basically running half of an appointment on the first call. And there's a
yeah,
couple reasons why we do that because we're dealing with like business owners and self-employed people. Like we're not really dealing with the market because like those are our target market. Most of the products that we sell, they fit the best for. Um, and with those types of individuals, they're busy, they're on the go. And if you couple things, if you don't really get them excited, right? Like a lot of people, they'll have a $5,000, $10,000 deductible, something crazy, right?
yeah.
And, if you did, ask you about it. And I'm like, well, when's the last time you met your deductible? I'm like, well, never.
Yeah.
So basically, you haven't used your insurance, right? Outside of maybe some preventative stuff. So it's like, these people, these business owners, self-employed, myself, right? I'm talking to myself. I was quoted $1,200, $8,000 deductible for me and my family.
Jeez.
I'm not paying that, and I refuse to. So I'm dealing with the sector of the country that is kind of screwed like I am, which is cool because we can really help them out if it makes sense for them. So
Got you, man. I love it. I love it. So, um, let's say I'm in two ways. Let's say there's an agent that's watching this right now and is like, dude, man, I love your script. And I really want to work with you. Where can they find you?
yeah, they can go on the website, sellwithbenzie.com. That's the
Mhm.
company we partner with. They can go on there, a couple videos, they can watch it, get to know me, the company, whatever. And then they can put in their information and then we'll have a agency manager reach out.
So, and then, well, let's say I'm a business owner watching this and I'm tired of paying $890 and I want to see if you can help me out. Is it also, do I go to sell with Benzie?
No, you can call me, 704-572-5096 or shoot me a text, either or. But um, do we have leads? And I don't even have to market outside the leads because the leads are so good. It's crazy.
Gotcha.
Uh,
So the leads, talk to me, man. How you guys get into leads? What's the lead generation process? And how would you
yeah.
guys get?
Yeah. So I don't specifically do it. We have a guy that does it, but they're kind of exclusive to us. They're all over, they're digital leads all over social media. Um, and they come in and it's like people know exactly what they want. They know what they got. And there's no BS. Like I don't ever run into like people saying, I thought this was free or I didn't fill it out. Like I didn't fill it out is like a rarity, right? And the way that we're touching the lead's coming in and we're immediately contacting it.
Gotcha.
So we like from the freshest point A to Z. Um, it's pretty cool. It's an insane like setup that we have going on.
Gotcha, man. So what's the average cost per lead?
So ours is 22 to $25.
22 total. That's
So
super cheap.
it's lower because of the guys that we're working with. So our business model is pretty unique because of the way that they do the leads. It's costing them more
Okay.
than that, right? But it's built on like as long as Mike's if I'm buying leads, as long as I'm selling, it's a good model. But as
Because they
I'm
make
not selling, yeah,
so it's like an override kind of deal where you're making money from that override kind of spread kind of deal.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's all built. It's a dude. It's a phenomenal model. It keeps the lead guy honest and true
Uh-huh.
because if his leads aren't good and people aren't selling, he ain't making money, right? Because it's not for profit.
Gotcha. So more or less, you're charging them the leads to kind of get them, what do you call it, skin in the game,
Hmm?
right? Because I don't know about if you had the same thing, but I had a point in my time where when I was running, when I was with the agency, and I was given it'd be two, three, $4,000, invest in the agents, and then I'm like, hey, did you call the leads? They'd be like, no. It's like, did you at least even text them? No,
Right.
right? It's a weird thing. I always tell people this is you're doing people a disservice when you don't charge them money. Right? Because if people will equate value as to what they pay for, right?
Right.
So now give me a perspective, right? So let's say, what is the average amount of money that people will, because marketing is very important, right? What is the amount of money that people will spend, say on average weekly investing in lead?
Yeah. So on a top end, 1,000, but it's usually 5 to 750. So, I mean, like our top agent last month wrote 202,000, and spent 4,400 on leads. So our lead cost is super low.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let's say it again. You said that again. The agent spent $4,000 and wrote. So out of the 200,000 they write, how much did they keep?
Yeah. He probably made around 40 to 50,000.
Wow. So that's a 40 to 1.
Yeah. So on the health side, here's the thing, like the comps are lower, but we have lifetime renewals, on most of the products that we sell. And on top of that, our average sale, we're not selling $1,000 policies. We're selling five, six, $7,000 policies, AP, right? So they're
Gotcha.
bigger policies. So, you know, if you're selling 5 life insurance policies, it's probably selling, it's 5,000 AP, let's just say on average, right?
Uh
Maybe a
huh.
little. If we sell 5, we're submitting 25,000.
Got you. Got
Premium is so much bigger. There's when you get into this world and you crunch numbers, like you realize that like because each product we don't go like off of like a comp grid. Like each product has a different comp. Like a dental has a commission rate. All the different supplementals that go with the health plan have different commission rates, and we put it kind of all together. Every client's a little bit different on what their situation looks like and what they
Okay.
need.
Okay.
We have other accounts that we can set up that are similar to HSAs if a client wants that, depending on if they have a high deductible plan or whatnot. But dude, there's so many different avenues, and health insurance is more what I've found to as somebody who's sold both now. On the life side, it's more like bam, 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 just submit, 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 submit,
Yeah.
submit. Health side is it's not it's client focused. I'm
Mm.
building, I'm focused on building a book of I'm not focused on recruiting a bunch of agents, right? If I want to build an agency, you can definitely do that on the health side. It's insane and crazy. Um, the money's crazy, right? But you come in as a producer and you sell and you build a book of business that has a renewal attached to it, and you can simulate that override and renewal. So you're learning the product, you're learning how to pitch the product, you're learning how to help your client, right? When they go to use their health insurance, it's a completely different game, dude. It's not a let me just sell somebody and hope they never call me. Like I used to have PTSD when a client would call me. Dude, now I have clients calling me thanking me because it drafted out of their account. It's a completely different world. And it's in our agents, I'll say this, the dude that wrote 200K doesn't work Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. It's a 4-day work week. We don't work 80 hours over here. I mean, if somebody wants to, they can. But dude, I was working Monday through Thursday. I'm not churning through leads. I mean, we're buying 20, 30, 40 leads a week. 40 is like, dude, you're just you're working, right? Like there's a lot because you're talking to most people. Um, and most all of the leads, I can't say every lead because that would be false. Most all of the leads want information or to talk about health insurance that we talk to.
Gotcha.
So it's
Yeah.
you're having conversations nonstop. Um, we have agents come in and do 20, 30,000 their first week all the time, like an
Uh-huh.
annual, right? And it's one thing to write, like from what I've seen. So speaking from a personal experience, I've had months where I've made 30 grand, 40 grand on the life side, but I'd spent 28 of the 30 to make it,
Mm.
right? 25 of the 30 to make it, 20 of the 30, right? So what are you really left with?
5 grand.
Then also had the same experience on the health side, but my lead cost is super low, right?
Okay.
Persistency is super high,
Okay.
and there's back end money and a renewal attached to it, where I don't feel like starting over every year, right?
Okay.
Here's the key though. This is the key.
Okay.
We do health insurance primarily, but we still cross sell life insurance. Back in November, I wrote a $7,000 life insurance policy to one of my health clients that's still on the books. So, like, you can still
Mm.
capture the life insurance money and commissions and the amazing benefits of life insurance, which is the advance upfront commission on your health sale. So, it's for us, it's not a this or that business, it's a this and that. So we focus on the health insurance for the business owner because that's our main concern.
Yeah.
But you save somebody three, four, $500 with their health insurance. Hey, Emmanuel, let's check out this IUL for, let's look at what $300 would do. Oh, you need life insurance? Let's look at, an extra $200 would do on a term policy because that's what you need, right?
Yeah.
But I've already saved you $400. So I'm still saving you 200 and I got you a life insurance policy. Dude, I'm telling you, there's so many avenues and agents they're making money and they're profitable and they're happy. That's what it's all about when you're building an agency. When you have an opportunity that someone can call you about, and you're like in your heart. I was pointing my head when I said heart, but in your head and in your heart,
Uh-huh.
you even to the core because it's like proven to you, and you see it. And it's not about what Mike can do, right? Or what
Mm.
you do, or what a high producing sales agent can do. What can Bob, that's brand new in the insurance business, right?
Yeah.
He's spending, dude, I was spending 2000 a week in leads,
I know
right?
that.
So he's
Yeah, I
spending
remember. Yeah, I remember that.
15 to 1800 or 15 to 1200 less a week in leads. My deposit size is still the same because of the policy size. My persistency is higher. Dude, it's like, and I don't work 80 hours a week anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer, and I love it, and again, that's me, but, like, I hear the same stories from our agents, and I say our agents, but agents who work with us, and, dude, I just love it, and the
Gotcha.
guys we work for, it's just incredible.
So talk to me here. So I mean, if you're talking about, spending, 750 to 1,000 a week, and someone spending 4 grand and making 40, is that what is the low end? Let's say somebody comes in. Obviously, we don't when you come in sales, you don't want average people to come sell product, because average people give you average performance, right? You want
Right.
people who are actually want the motivation. What can people, they call you, or they go in, they fill the form out, and they actually want to work with you. What's the what obviously you're not guaranteed. This is not a guarantee, guys. What
Oh,
can they
yeah.
expect to make? Okay. And what is the training process going to be like? Say, they don't even have any experience at all in
Dude, we
healthcare.
have we have a super in-depth training that we go through, that teaches everything. It's super cool. It takes about 2 to 4 hours to go through, and then we encourage people to go back through it at different times, like before you make a discovery call, pitch call, that stuff. So we have a complete training portal. We have a Slack group where people post their sales, encouragement. You can ask questions, all that stuff, right? Do a team call each week. But here's the thing, dude. This is what gets me excited about the health side. And you could take somebody, let's just say, because 20 leads is more of a part-time schedule, right?
Mhm.
Our full-time agents are buying 30 to 40 leads a week,
Okay.
right? It varies. Okay. So let's just say 30 leads, 750 a week, right? 30 leads, they should be selling 4 to 6 apps. Okay. It's a little bit slower on the health side because typically a lot of times people will have a current plan. Maybe they still have a job and they're not, quitting their job until January or whatever, right? So like sometimes it's a little bit of follow up, but it's a good 3 to 4 week ramp up on like kind of getting that learning curve, and then 4 to 6 week, I really say when you really start to make the money, you see everything kind of come fruition, you get on that schedule. But like we have agents that come in, say they'll buy 30 leads, you're submitting 4 to 6 apps. I mean, we have apps that are 15,000, 20,000. Let's just say 4 to 6,000 is the average apps at 5,000 a piece, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They write 5 apps, right? Could write more, could write less. 5 apps at 5,000 a piece, 25,000 a week. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Average agent will submit 20, and most everything gets approved that we submit, right? Because it's a clear underwriting. So if you're submitting it, it should get approved, right? Or
Yeah.
don't submit it. It's pretty clear. So between 4 and 6 apps, so let's just say 5,000. So between 20 and 30,000 a week, you're submitting.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's between 80 and 110K a month, right? So let's just say 80 to 100K a month.
Uh-huh.
AP, right?
Uh-huh.
$1 million a year,
Uh-huh.
right? Average agent should write $1 million a year. They
Okay.
should in the bank account, right? Be advanced. We have advance on the health side, by the way, 9 months advance. Most people don't.
Love it.
I'll shoot. There's a lot of ass earn. But they'll have between 2 and 300,000. An agent that writes $1 million should make 2 to 300,000 a year.
Uh-huh.
And then cool part, around years 3 to 4, they should be right there around that range where they have a six-figure renewal that they built.
So they'll be getting average, let's say they're doing consistently, $1 million a year in production for 2, 3 years. By year 4, let's say worst case, year 4, they're getting 100 grand a year, regardless of if they work or not. That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, then
Yeah.
what for
So
that's
that's so no, all I was gonna say is that's so when I have a new agent come in, like we're a quality over quantity type business model. Like what
yeah.
I'm looking for a guy that I can help get to where they're submitting 20 to 30,000 a week, dollars a year, making 2 to 300,000, and you have a six-figure renewals between years 3 and 4, somewhere around in there. Maybe you want to take it slower and just do 500K. I don't care, right? Like it would be kind of hard to do that because I'm telling you, these people are eating this up. They love the
Wow.
plans.
And you guys pretty much provide the leads for what, 20 bucks? Like 20 bucks a lead is cheap. If you worst case,
Well, yeah, it's between 22 and 25,
yeah,
and we
20 like
don't
25.
resell lead.
Yeah, so 25. So I mean, even if they're doing it on a part-time basis, 500 bucks. If they spend 500 bucks, they write 5 apps, and let's say the 5 apps is 25,000. They make 3 to 4 grand
Yeah,
that week, and it costs you five.
yeah, they'll be buying. Yeah, you can get to that point with your skill level, but realistic numbers, like you're buying 30 to 40 leads when you're writing 4 to 6 apps, right? If
That's
you on
still
the 20 lead, like we
Mhm.
have people doing 20K off 20 leads. Don't get me wrong, but most people that are buying 20 leads are writing 1 to 2 apps, right?
Well,
Because they're
it's still
usually
a
part time. Yeah.
it's still a 10 to 1 because even if they're doing whatever the return, let's say they buy 20 leads and they make 2 grand off of it, instead of 4 grand, they make 2 grand, and then you do the math. I mean, which my math is not math in there, but they're still making good money. The return is still insane, right?
And dude, they're not waking up each week or each day worrying about chargebacks at the same rate. You'll have them, right? But like they're not. It's like 1 in 10. I tell people 1 out of every 10. That's a good number. That's a national average number,
Yeah. Versus
right?
let's
I
say
can't promise you, but like you're not gonna deal with it at the same rate. Like it's so so people are more encouraged. So to answer the question you asked earlier about how do you
yeah,
people deal with dude, a new agent comes in on the health side, they're not fighting, they're not painting that picture, right? I love life insurance. I
uh-huh,
believe in insurance. Like I do. I think you have to be able to sell it. So this isn't like a put down life insurance type. I'm not saying that.
yeah,
I'm saying is we sell life to the health clients. We still sell life insurance. I believe in life insurance, love life insurance. But if I'm going to sell a product that I want to sell something that's going to pay me on the back end, life insurance for me was always about building a team because I don't know anybody that wants to sell life insurance forever, right? That's
yeah,
why people choose to build a team. That's where you get the passive income. Obviously, there's some renewals on life insurance. It's my, right? If they
yeah.
even, to me, my renewal is if it made it 9 months. You know what I mean? If I get that back end money, I'm happy, man. But like, and again, that's not a knock on the life insurance industry. We still sell life insurance. My point is, focus on the health side. It's just such an easier barrier to entry for a new agent to come in. They're not, sitting down with you know, John and Beth and killing John off to explain the importance of life insurance. It's they already know they need it. Society tells us we need it.
Yeah,
It's about can I find a better plan? And everyone, I don't care who you talk to, because there's no perfect health insurance plan by any means. If you find it, let me know. Almost everybody hates their health insurance. Like everybody has something wrong with their health insurance, right?
gotcha. Uh-huh.
No perfect plan, right? But there's either my doctor doesn't take it, or it didn't cover this, or it didn't
Yeah.
cover that, or the rates are going up at the end of the year. Somebody's always griping about that's my grandpa used to say that I'm griping. But they're always griping about their health insurance plan, you know? So I love like the opportunity in health insurance is insane.
I love it, man. I love it. I've heard a lot. And then the weirdest thing is I still keep in contact with a lot of people on the life side. And probably about 48% of them now are kind of in the health, doing that balanced business of health and life. Because I mean, from what I've been told, it's like, you don't necessarily have that, big, fast money that comes in, but you also don't also have the problem that, hey, 2 months down the line, market's not going to be able to make a payment, and then boom, you owe that money back. And you don't have to deal with trying to recruit, all those people because, you know, 4 years down the line, you got enough residuals where you can literally make the same amount of money in 4 or 5 years than that by yourself, that a life insurance agency owner with a team of 200 agents is going to be making 5 years down the line with residual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also a common misconception, at least with us, because we do have a 9 month advance
Yeah.
on most of the stuff that we sell, and the primary stuff we sell.
Okay.
So because I mean, it's the health side, like nobody's really doing it the way that we're doing it, and
Okay.
it's unique because our like a lead program, having a good lead program is really difficult on the health side because if you don't have advanced commissions, it's really hard to get somebody to spend that amount of money, right? 750 a
Yeah.
week and getting advanced commissions. So, all right, like we're getting those advanced deposits, and those deposits are, I'm telling you, the same size, if not sometimes larger than the average life stuff. And I wrote some fat life like business. I'm not saying that. I'm saying your average, right? My average, I feel like, was bigger than most people that I've talked to. Like I would easily like 15 to $2,000 policies all day long on the life side, right?
Yeah.
Most people I talk to say, no, it's $80 a month, $1,000 policy, be 1,200 I hear every now and then.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, compared to my larger life policies, and I didn't have a low life count by any means, right?
Yeah.
Especially where the previous company I worked with, like I had a really good commission, and my health policies are rivaling that. And I'm actually more profitable because of what stays on the books and my lower lead costs. That's the crazy part. It's the profitability.
So talk to me a little bit about the sales part of things here. How
Yeah.
are you able to get people to pay up more money as opposed to someone on the other end who was like, getting an average of, $80 a month, but you're getting people to sign up for $200 a month.
Oh, dude, 200 is a small policy. Yeah. Because people value their health insurance.
Mm,
It's just a value. It's like on the like, I'll give you an example. I had a client that this was probably 3 months ago now, but she
mhm.
canceled her life policy. Now she was well, she's, been a client for a while. Um, but she had reached out and she's like, hey, economy, right? We're not in our best
Yeah.
times right now. And she was like, I have to get rid of all my non-essential bills.
Wow.
And that's sad because I don't view life insurance as non-essential.
Sure.
I believe it's essential, right?
Yeah.
In so many ways, but society, right?
Yeah.
The vast majority of society looks at life insurance as well. I'd like to have it. I want to have it. I see the need,
Yeah.
but I don't want to pay the extra money. They'd rather have their TV,
Makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
Or their cell phone or whatever. Health insurance triggers a different emotion. And because everyone knows someone who had cancer or has had a large medical bill or goes to the doctor, like we all like it's you're going to pay for it either way. Everyone knows they're going to die, but no
Yeah.
one thinks they're dying tomorrow.
True.
But no one thinks that they're not going to the doctor tomorrow.
True.
Right. So there's a sense of urgency where it's like a house. Like somebody does like most people you talk to don't believe they don't have a place that they need to like live,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You're not convincing someone that, hey, you need to buy this house, like maybe this house, but not a house.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same type of sale. Like I'm not convincing someone that they need to buy health insurance. They already know that.
Interesting.
So
That's
that's a completely different world. So
interesting.
you're not fighting that.
So it's a mentality of you're selling it because the way I look at it is it's easier to sell something that people want to buy,
Yeah.
right? People, the people buy what they want to buy, not what's being sold to them, right?
Have to buy it in our case.
Yeah, they have to buy. Yeah, right. They have to buy because then again, it's like people's health deteriorate, and having health insurance is worse than driving without cars, right?
Yeah.
Because the odds of having a car accident, I mean, hopefully everything's fine. It's slim to none, but the odds of going to a doctor, it's almost 85 to 90%. Yeah. No, that's interesting, man. I like it. And I really enjoy this conversation as far as, um, the health side of things. Now, how much of an impact do you think authenticity plays in, because there's two types of salespeople. There's people that go into every sale and they're going, you know, trying to be people pleasers, right? Trying to say what the client's going to hear, which, we know that people smell BS. And then you have the person that's like, dude, that's not going to work for you, man. That authenticity. How much do you think that authenticity plays a role? Because I've interacted with you. And you say it as it is. You're like, dude, you're not working, man. You're BS, right? You say it as it is. How much is that of that authenticity you think played a big role in you actually, selling as much as you do?
Dude, I think it's everything. And you know what's funny about that is that's our entire business model
Mm,
with where we're at now. It's all we do, man. Like there's people that we have and I can get them a plan.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, it just doesn't make sense for you.
Mm.
You should stick with what you have. I believe that stuff comes around when you're authentic and real and genuine and you have the client's best intentions or you have the agent's best intention that you're working with.
Yeah.
If as long as like, dude, this selfish stuff, it doesn't last long. Like people sense that. Nobody wants to work with somebody like that.
True.
Ego, same thing.
True.
I just if you just treat people with respect and pour into someone and you're real with somebody,
Yeah.
that's all people like, dude, my favorite podcast, Brad Lee, right? The real Brad Lee.
The real, I mean, I thought you were about to
Dude,
say this was your
real
favorite
people,
podcast, but yeah. Huh?
real people, like, dude, that's where it's at. Like, look around. You know, sports, people want people like and root and cheer for people that they can connect with,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you sometimes, and I don't know if you're a NASCAR fan or not. I am, right? Sometimes your most popular drivers aren't the best drivers. They're the ones that are like you, right?
Yeah.
You see that guy, that girl that you're like, man, they're like me. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Interesting.
on surface level, most people want someone that's genuine, authentic, and real that just want to shoot them straight and give them like this is the no BS answer.
People that are relatable.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. No, man, this is a good conversation. So, I guess before we wrap up here, anything you want to say, anything you want to add, any advice you want to give to the audience, the viewers?
No, man, I think that you know, because this is insurance related, I think that if you're looking for an insurance opportunity, and this isn't a recruiting pitch to where we work at by any means, but I think that you need to do a lot of research. I think so many people jump into the insurance business. I see it because I'm in this life insurance group on Facebook
Yeah.
and I see people post the most off the wall stuff. They're clueless. They post different things about, you know, this company, that company. Ultimately, like do research and find the company that fits for you
Gotcha.
and ask good questions because I'm a firm believer that an individual that wants to make it happen, it doesn't matter where you plant your flag, so to speak. It doesn't matter the company. Are there better opportunities than others? Yes, 100%, right? But at the end of the day, it's not up to the company whether you're going to succeed or not, or your upline, right? Find someone that you connect with that has good morals, that has like that same belief system that you can. Because I'm a big believer in partnering with someone, right? Like especially on the independent side of the insurance business, like upline, downline, I don't care about that stuff. Yeah, you have to have it for hierarchy, but like for instance, Emmanuel, like if we work together, like we're partnering together, whether I'm your upline or you're my upline.
Uh-huh.
Like we're partnering together, dude. Like when you win, I win. When I win, you win.
Sure.
That's like when you find somebody that has that same desire and that wants you to win without them having to have all the, you know, the celebrations, right? Like it's all about me. Like when you win, oh, it was because I dude, like don't work with the wrong people. That's my advice. And if people were a little bit more diligent about asking good questions and getting to know someone before just jumping in and making a commitment, because in the insurance business, dude, it's all about like locking arms with somebody and whatever your goals are, align those goals and, you know, work together to get there. And it shouldn't matter about, you know, who gets the credit. So that's my advice if you're new to insurance.
I love it, man. I love it. So, and then obviously, where if you want to say it again, where can people find you? You want to connect with you, work with you, buy from you? I mean, I know you say you have leads, but then again, someone's going to watch this video and like, dude, I want insurance.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like you can find me on Instagram. It's Mike, Mike, the number 8,
Mhm.
Curry, Urry.
Okay.
Um, or well, you can find me there. And then Facebook, Mike Curry, website, sellwithbenzie.com, Benzy, Benzie. We're AO Financial, like that's my, you know, so to speak, company, but we're partnered with Benzie, and Benzie is the name that, you know, we promote and in our building. So I'm
Gotcha.
excited,
I
excited for
love
the
it, man. I love it. So guys, definitely go check it out. As you can hear, obviously, go ahead and leave your comments. I'm curious as far as like, what you think about, the conversation. And hopefully you guys got some nuggets. Don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.